What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? So I'm coming back today with another Deftones review, one that I kind of been putting off, and not necessarily because I don't care for the album. It's just it's not one of the albums I listen to as much as the later work. This, of course, would be dealing with Deftones' first album, Adrenaline. So Adrenaline was an album that I think I had heard White Pony, of course, and then of course Around the Fur, and Deftones' fourth album, the self-title. And I went back and said, okay, well, is there anything I don't have, because I love everything I've heard so far. And I picked up Adrenaline, or I think I ordered it. I don't think that was, I don't remember. I don't know if I picked it up or I ordered it, because around that time, this is also when Napster, the effects of Napster had happened, and a lot more stores were not carrying CDs. They were just kind of like, if they're albums that are selling, and this album came out, I think, back in 95, so it wasn't something they probably would have had in stock. Anyway, the one song that did catch my attention, because I had seen a video at that point, was Bored. I liked the groove of it. I liked how they were just playing in somebody's house, or could have been one of the band members' homes, and then people just walk around listening to them play. It just felt so surreal, like it was not a performance, but a practice. That's kind of how it looked, and that's what drove me to the album, even though I had already heard the other stuff. And then when I listened to it, you can kind of tell that the band, these were songs probably the band had just put together. Not to say that they didn't spend a lot of time on them, but it was just them saying, okay, let's pick the best songs we've done so far up until this point and put them on an album. And it was good. I mean, I think the issue with Adrenaline for me, it's not that it's a bad album. It's just everything else after is just better. Like, everything. Even though what happened with Saturday Night Wrist and the self-titled Deftones album during all that drama, those albums are still better than Adrenaline. Like, every album after Adrenaline is better than Adrenaline. So I think that's the biggest issue with it. And when I listen to the tracks, you can see that little elements of certain tracks like Bored and Lifter and 1 Week, you can kind of see that there's going to be, those elements are going to expand with later work, and that's exactly what happened. For my top 5 tracks, of course, Bored, 1 Week, Nosebleed, Lifter, and Engine Number 9. As far as retrospect, looking back on it, I respect the album. I listen to it from time to time, not as much as the other work, and have to appreciate what was done with it at that time and what ended up becoming the Deftones after it. Because it's kind of like when you listen to Adrenaline and then you listen to Around the Furnace, like, whoa, like, what the heck? It's such, like, not a contrast, but such energy and such expounding on Adrenaline and where they started and where they started to go. And then, you know, even that big difference between White Pony and Around the Fur, the same thing. Except with Adrenaline and Around the Fur, it was almost like it was almost like the band was like, we can be so much harder, we can be so much faster, we can be so much more aggressive and hard hitting. And I think that's what they took from Adrenaline, and that's how we got Around the Fur. Also darker too, because Adrenaline was cool, but I think Around the Fur was a lot more of a darker album too. My rating, I would give this album, that's really hard, because it's not a 5 and it's not a 2. It's not a bad album. It's not a 3 either. I think I would give this album 4. Yeah, I'd give it a 4, because the Deftones have never made an album I don't like. It's not like just yeah, a 4 would be okay. Normally, music I do listen to, if it's an album I don't like, I'm not even probably going to even give it a, if it's an album I know I'm not going to like, I won't even rate it. What's the point? Because I already know I'm going to walk into hating the album. And it's just like, why listen to stuff you don't like, you know? And I'm not that type of critic. So with that being said, I think the band really, you got to not the band, but you got to respect the album for what it was when it came out and what the Deftones became after it. So with that, we will cue the music.